Well, it's officially 3 o'clock Eastern Time. How's it going, guys? My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. Today's date is Sunday, January 29th, 2023, the final Sunday of the month of January. Man, this month went by so quickly. Joining me off camera this week is my dad. If you can see him from the glare of the light, might have to adjust that light. Amy is resting on the couch, so she probably won't be joining us this week. Oh, yeah, you could see his hand. See it waving right? Do it again. Right there. I hope y'all had a wonderful week. My week was pretty good. No Shrine Circus this past Friday. I went to the circus 2 times in a row, back to back. Last or the Friday before that and last Friday, I was at the Shrine Circus 1 time in Flint, 1 time in Saginaw. Both shows were great. But no Shrine Circus this past Friday because there was no circus in town. So, but my week was pretty good. How was your week, Dad? It was pretty good. Yeah, we've been getting snow finally. It's January, it's Michigan, it's the dead of winter. We can expect to see this kind of weather. And speaking of winter weather, today is the last day of Zender Snowfest in Frankenmuth. Now, this is usually an annual event. People come in from all over the world, all over the country, and they have like ice sculptures and snow carving competitions and things like that. But they actually had to cancel the snow carving competition because we didn't have snow or cold weather abundant enough to have the competition. So they had to cancel it unless they reinstated it at the last minute from the recent winter storms that we've been having because we had storms back to back. Oh, from Grayling. Oh, okay. Yeah, because they've been getting a lot of snow in northern Michigan, but I haven't been to Zender Snowfest in ages. Um, I was unable to make it this year. Today is the last day of it. I hope you, if you're local and watching this, I hope you've been able to get over to Frankenmuth and enjoy Zender Snowfest. Or you can follow their Facebook page because I do believe they have their own Facebook page. Zender Snowfest has their own Facebook page, and you can check out Bronner's Christmas Wonderland. Of course, you can check out the Bavarian Inn and Zender's restaurant. They don't have a chocolate factory. It's a fudge. They have fudge shops and German sausage shops. But Zender's, the restaurant Zender's, they have. They're known for the world's famous chicken, of course. And then there's Zender's Splash Village, which is just right next door to Bronner's on the south end of town. There's a lot of awesome businesses in Frankenmuth. I love Frankenmuth. I enjoy visiting, but I frequent Bronner's more than I go to any of the other businesses. I have never been to the Bavarian Inn. I've never been to Zender's restaurant. Um, there's a lot of places in Frankenmuth I have not been, but maybe one day I'll have enough money to go and have some of their world's famous chicken. But yeah, so today is the last day of Zender Snowfest. This week we'll be paying bills. Um, Now I'm not sure if you wanted to talk about what's going on with your leg. It don't matter. So okay, I guess I'm going to talk about that. So we found out just recently that my dad has a blockage in his leg. It's not a blood clot or anything. It's a blockage, and they've set up an appointment for February 14th, Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's why he's having a hard time walking because they found a blockage in his leg, and so he's going to be in Saginaw to have that further examined. I'm not saying they will, but they might have to do angioplasty, which is they just put a balloon in his leg and they open up the vein, the artery, and it'll allow for the blood flow. It'll uh, hopefully take care of the blockage. Um, Again, to repeat, it's not a blood clot. I know a lot of people they love to fly off the handle and call it what it isn't. It happens all the time. That's why I don't like unsolicited medical advice, especially coming from people who are not our doctors. I don't care if you have a degree or a doctorate in medicine. If you are not my doctor or his doctor, I couldn't care less what you have to say about the subject. You are not examining him. You are not in charge of his medical records or anything to do with his health. I really don't want to listen to it. And it's the same with me too. I don't like people um, thinking they know so much more about my health and my body than I do. They want to armchair diagnose me when they are not doctors. They have no degree or licensing in that particular field. I'm not fucking interested in what you have to say about my health or my body because you don't know my health or my body. Um, but in any event, Dad has an appointment coming up on the 14th. That'll be in Saginaw. Um, I'm not saying they're going to do angioplasty, but it might be brought up in conversation. Um, yeah, or they might find a medication that'll help break up the blockage. But so that's what's been going on. I wasn't sure, Dad, if you wanted to talk about that or expound on that here on the live stream because I didn't mention it on Facebook. I felt that it wasn't my position to talk about that, but no, nobody knows who he is, Dad. Nobody knows who he is. Um, but we did now that he mentioned it. There was a death of a friend of ours, but nobody because most of the people who watch my channel, they're not local. They're from out of the state. So they don't know who these people are who we're talking about. But a couple people we've known for years had recently passed away. Um, well, but if they had health issues prior to their death, then it makes sense. But a couple people have passed away. My cousin's uncle, so it'd be my cousin Elwood by marriage. It would be his uncle. He passed away, and a friend, or someone we've known. I don't know if we'd necessarily call her a friend, but we've known them for years. Her name was Terry Lee Sporsick. She passed away. Um, I wasn't close with any of these people. I knew of them, but I wasn't close with them. I didn't have dinner with them. I didn't have anything to do with them directly, but I knew who they were and okay, but again, nobody no the demographic of people who watch my channel are from outside of Michigan. Most of the people who watch this are from outside of Michigan and they don't know who any of these people are. So yeah, we got plenty of snow here in Michigan. We have more than enough to build a snowman. Um, and I wanted to also point out before I forget that before the show started, some cowardly little bitch in chat decided to come in and call me a jerk, and I gave him the fuck off boot to Purple Oblivion. And so I want to put it out there that if you think you're going to come into my chat log and start spouting off like the cowardly little bitch you are, I'm going to give you the boot and you'll be done. And that's what happened to some, I don't know, a troll with a weird fucking name. It's not even their real name. It's let's see, let me go back up. And this is weird. Adjacent Flapjack Sofa. Okay, that's a stupid name for a channel, but it's a troll. And after you called me a jerk, Adjacent Flapjack Sofa, you get the boot. Right the fuck off into Purple Oblivion. So don't ever come in my chat room ever again. Now there's a couple of actually one person that I know of. I'm not gonna say the full name, but the letter K that you see appear in your chat logs if you're watching this live. I know who that person is, so they're fine. And we've already had a discussion away from this chat in Messenger, so I know who they are. I'm not going to give away their name, but the first initial is K, so I know who they are, and that's all you people need to know. But and they said they might be watching me live today. So if you are watching me live today, letter K, hello. Hope you're doing well where you are. Hope your family's doing well. But I will make an example out. I made an example out of this adjacent Flapjack Sofa coming in saying stupid stuff to me, calling me a jerk. If that's your intention of coming into my chat log, I'm going to do the same thing to you as I did to the troll. So just behave yourselves and you'll be fine. The letter K says, "Yep, I am." Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that. And again, like I said, I know who this person is. I'm not going to give away a name, but we've had another separate conversation in Messenger. So I know who this person is and they're good. And I know they mean well. And they're not here to do harm or cause problems because I'm not the kind of person who messes around. They say I'm always nice. Well, yeah. I mean, even, even in the few instances where we've had our disagreements, we always end up finding each other and we like, what, let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation. Let's not stay mad at each other. Let's not be at war with each other. So there was a misunderstanding. Let's talk about this like adults. And we usually do. And we've had some misunderstandings in the past, but we always come back to each other. And that's the one thing I love about that person. That the person going by the letter K in my chat log. Um, they know I love them, I care about them, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And, even when we have disagreements or misunderstandings, we always find middle ground and say, you know what? Maybe I said this in a way that you took offense to, or maybe in a way where you didn't understand. Because when you're just writing words, unless you really know for sure that I'm being a dick or if I'm just being sarcastic, unless you know that, or unless I put that out, that message out there, just writing and plain words without emojis or anything like that, it kills nuance. So, in other words, this person could be writing to me and I could be typing back, but you can see my facial, like I'm raising my eyebrows or I'm being serious, or I kind of grin when I'm typing. You kind of know the feeling or the expression behind what I'm about to say. But this person and I, this letter K, we always come back to each other one way or the other, even with the disagreements that we've had in the past. But that's water under the bridge. It's all good. Yeah, and it's all good now. Everything's good, and all's well. So I do appreciate Kay coming into my chat, and yeah, most of the time, I would say all the time you're nice, and I try to be nice. And although you may take it what I say the wrong way at times, but I can assure you, I'm not. Like there was a time in Messenger when they sent me the thumb, and it's like, okay, well, I guess the conversation's done because you sent me the blue thumb. I figured, okay, that was the end of the conversation, and then there was a little, misunderstanding about that. But then we talked and we cleared everything up, and we came to an understanding. Now we're friends again, but we haven't had any arguments or misunderstandings as of late, which is nice because I don't want that with anybody. I want to be friends with everybody, or at least as many people as I can. I can't be friends with everybody, apparently, but I try. I give up my best. I was being halfway sarcastic. I try to be though. Well, hey, we all have our days. We all have our days. But you're not coming into my chat room being a coward like that sofa person, which it's just a weird fucking name anyway. But they're gone. They're out of sight, out of mind. But it's always great to have good people coming into my chat logs and keeping me company and you know who flapjack. What what? Do you know what a flapjack is? A pancake. So let's see, adjacent, which means that it's adjacent would mean off like kitty corner. Adjacent pancake sofa. So adjacent pancake sofa. That's I can't explain that. So is it a sofa made out of pancakes or is it what is it? Um but of course that troll can't comment anymore because they've been banned. But it's just some weird ass names. Um and they come in saying stupid stuff like, "Oh, Jared, you're a jerk." Well, there's a difference between being a jerk and just not putting up with bullshit. And if me not putting up with bullshit makes me a jerk, then I guess I'm the world's biggest jerk because I'm not going to put up with it anymore. That ship has sailed and I'm getting entirely too old for that shit. Uh, But anyway, thank you, Kay, for coming in. You are more welcome to stay for the entirety of this live stream, which for those of you who may not be aware, if this is your first time coming here, welcome. I'm here for about roughly an hour between the hours of 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then when I end this live stream, I go and watch another live stream, uh, which is it's a online program called The Line, and it's got Matt Dillahunty and Jimmy Snow. Usually, of course, Matt Dillahunty is an atheist, and Jimmy Snow is also an atheist. I like to watch the live streams just to kind of see what they have to talk about, get some ideas, um, redefine some thoughts or points that I might have had on my own, or just things I've thought about. And if I haven't thought about a certain particular subject before, I listen to them talk, and then it's like, okay, the lights are coming on, and I go from there. But yeah, so this live stream basically in review of the previous week. That's basically what these are for. These live streams. I just talk about the week in review. And I for the longest time didn't have my chat log open because of the fact that people like this adjacent flapjack sofa like to come into my chat log and start shit and say stupid stuff. And I've had people come in here in the past before and saying that, oh, Jared, you're on a list and you're here and there, and I'm not on any motherfucking list, Jack. So it just they were coming in here saying stupid stuff, and I would dispose of them. I would extinguish them from my chat log, and I took care of it. But most of the time, it's been decent. The trolls are actually few and far between now, if you can believe that. I don't get a lot of trolls in my chat log anymore, which is nice. I don't need to deal with trolls. But the letter K in chat is not a troll. I know that person. And we've had conversations. We're actually currently Facebook friends, and we've had conversations in Messenger. Matter of fact, prior to this live stream, we were talking in Messenger, and I asked them if they would leave a comment in my chat log, so I knew it was them, so I could make sure that I was subscribed to them, and so it's all good. So the letter K, you're always more welcome to leave comments and converse and chat. I know you better than most people because they don't know who you are. Yeah, flapjack sofa is not allowed here no more. And it's just funny even saying it because it's so ridiculously just stupid. Um, they couldn't come up with a better troll name than adjacent flapjack sofa. Okay. Yeah. It's weird. But anyway, the past week was pretty good. Other than the couple of deaths that I had mentioned at the top of the video, we had a couple of winter storms come through, and we got about 6 inches on the ground, about that 6 inches of snow. Um, it's Michigan. Most people are complaining about it. We were at the back 40 last week. Dad and I were in. One of the workers there were complaining. Well, we don't need the snow. Yeah, we actually do need the snow because the thing is, well, it not only does it saturate the ground, but at the same time, if we don't get our snowstorms now, I don't want to wait until May or June to get a blizzard or another major winter storm. And it's happened before in Michigan. Well, we've had snow in June, though. That's happened before in the state of Michigan. I don't want to have snow up until June. That's usually when people vacation, they venture out. And like Dad said, graduation parties and things like that. We don't need snow on the ground. We need snow. If we're going to get the snow, let's get it now. Get it done and out of the way so that way we won't have to deal with this shit later. But, there's people who are climate change deniers, and that's a whole nother issue for a whole nother day. I really don't want to get into that too much, but it has a lot to do with it. There are parts of this country who where they typically never get snow, and they're getting snow. Like that's evidence of climate change. And there's strong data to show that we support and we are the cause of climate change. If he's not going to come in, just yeah, we're not heating the outside, homie. Yeah, it's about what 25 degrees right now. Let's see, 20. I got 27 on this end. Um, I need my head shaved too. By the way, I want to shave all this off. I was gonna do it before today's show, but I got sidetracked doing other things. I'm trying to get everything set up, and yeah, it's been kind of a lazy weekend around here, which is it's been a busy week, but a lazy weekend. Um, I didn't want to put it on Facebook about your leg because it's just not my place to talk about that. Um, but only with your permission. Um, but I might, just to put it out there that hey, this is what's going on. Um, and with Dad's permission, I write this, and I carry on with the post. But that's what's going on with Dad. It's enough to get your attention, but it's not anything that is like, oh my God, he's got a blockage. Like, oh, it's nothing like that. Um, Blockages are usually handled with, I'm guessing a medication, or as I had mentioned, angioplasty, where they just put the balloon in where the vein is, and they open the vein, and then the blockage is done. Um, the only pain you're going to experience is from the surgery itself. I think after that, and it's a lot of people get angioplasty done. I mean, any surgery, there's some risk involved, but it's not like a major. It's not open heart surgery. It's not brain surgery. It's not like what I went through when I was 2 years old. It's not kidney, cancer and surgically removing an organ. It's nothing like that. It's just there's a blockage, and we'll take care of it. Find out what they do about that. Um, but it'll be okay. You'll be fine. And I did mention on my Facebook, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I did mention how March 2nd, this coming March, will be the 34th anniversary of my diagnosis with Wilms tumor. I don't talk about childhood cancer a lot on Facebook anymore, or even here on my YouTube channel, because I think I've moved on from that for the most part. And I want for people to see how a survivor lives his life after going through all that. It's not that I stopped caring about cancer. It's not that I stopped caring about the children going through this, but I want for other people to see that there is life beyond the thing that you had gone through. And so I think that's why I've kind of just moved on and said, fuck it. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to post about random daily stuff. And speaking of health issues and things like that, I still have to reapply for a doctor because I currently don't have a family doctor. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing actually, where you had to consistently see a doctor. My thing is, I'm not sick, so why would I go to see a doctor if I'm not sick? Um, yeah, I just don't understand that, but I think it's an insurance thing. After 3 years of inactivity, meaning that I don't set up appointments, I don't get prescription medication or anything like that. There's nothing health related going on. If it's inactive for so long, they just drop you as a patient. They say, fuck it, we're not making money off you. Go somewhere else or reapply. But make sure that when you reapply, you actually make appointments and you make an effort to come back and see us. I think it's more of an insurance thing than anything. Um, because I have never heard of anything like that in my life where because I always thought that once you had a doctor, you had a doctor. That's what I thought. I didn't know that they switched the rules or changed the guidelines. He's barking to get in now. Yeah, yeah. And something else interesting happened this past weekend. I'll tell you as soon as the dog comes in. Um, so I got this paper. I printed off this piece of paper from my financial institution. I'm not going to give the name because it's irrelevant. But this is to show that my loan has been paid off because I financed a vehicle through my financial institution. And in order to, they have to, as far as I know, they have to stamp the title to the vehicle. I've never had that done before. The last time I financed a vehicle through my financial institution, they just sent me a new title in the mail without the financial institution being the lien holders on the title. But as it turns out, I'm going to have to find my title to my vehicle, and I'm going to have to take it up to my financial institution to get stamped to show that the loan has been paid off. So they're no longer the lien holders. But it seems I can't find my title. I'm going to have to go to the Secretary of State's. I'm going to have to file for lost title, and it's going to set me back about $20, which, unless I can find it, yes. But if I have to file for lost title, it's going to set me back about $20. Not a big deal, not a lot, but it's $20. I mean, I'd rather not spend $20 to have a title, because then I have to write down the license plate number, the VIN, the mileage. I got to write all that shit down, the year, the make, the model, the whole 9 yards. I got to write all that stuff down. What are you doing? What are you looking for? You're not going to find it now, Dad. Wait until after I'm done with the show, then. But it's not going to be down there. It would be in my room. I thought I put my title in the my safe, but as it turns out, it's not in my safe. I even checked my glove box, which they tell you don't leave it in the glove box. I checked in there, not in there. Mm-hmm. So if I don't find it, I'll just file for lost title. It's not a big deal. $20. I mean, yeah, it's $20, but I mean, yeah. Yeah, it usually takes like a certain number of business days, about a week or so. But I was told that I could have a new title the same day as I walk into the Secretary of State branch office and get a new title for my van. Because when I sell it one day, if I'm going to have to sell it or part ways with it, I'm going to have that title handy. So, yeah, I'm going to have to take care of that immediately. I'll probably do that on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. I'll probably, excuse me, make a trip over to St. Charles to the Secretary of State branch office and get that squared away. So, there are some things coming up this week. I have to pay bills. So I'll be in Owasso and Chesaning. And on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day, of course, Dad has his appointment coming up in Saginaw on the 14th. I think it's during the afternoon. I also have to pay property taxes. Our property taxes are due. And we might have to get another order of propane. I'm not sure yet, depending on how things go. Because we're expecting another deep freeze. It's going to be down into the single digits for overnight lows tomorrow night. And we got a certain percentage of propane left in the tank outside. So we're trying to use it wisely and we're trying to not use as much, but we also have to stay warm. We do have electric blankets that we keep warm with. I used mine last night, slept like a baby. Yeah, so there's so much coming up in February. I've been keeping in touch with some friends that I want to visit, and I'm not saying where and I'm not saying whom, But I've been keeping in contact with those people and still ironing out some details. There's actually a couple places I'd like to go this year, um, both by plane, of course. I'm not gonna say where because people like adjacent flapjack sulfur are watching and they're gonna go back and, oh, this is where Jared's gonna be. He's gonna be at this place at this time. Let's go warn these people about him and let's go to the airport and harass him as he's coming through the door. What's that? Oops. Oh yeah, because he almost gave away the position. He almost gave away the place where I'm gonna go. And it's like, no, 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 no. Don't slip up, dude. Don't slip up. It's nobody's business. But I think it's sad though that I have to keep certain parts of my life secretive under wraps because there are people out there who just love to ruin it for somebody else, especially when the person who is planning on doing something hasn't done anything harmful or detrimental to anyone else. And then you get people out there who have a personal vendetta against you and they will do anything to try to sabotage your plans by putting fear and worry into the people that you're going to go meet before you even get there. So I just assume keep a lot of people, even my most trusted friends, I don't tell. But or of course, unless I'm going to visit them in particular, but I do not divulge my travel plans with anyone. As a matter of fact, I think even when I make it to the destination of where I'm gonna go, I might not even post the location of where I am. Although I might, I haven't decided yet. And when I do, it's gonna be just for friends only on Facebook. It's not gonna be made public. So we'll just wait and see. There's a lot of people out there who still want to meet me for what it's worth, everything I've been through. They still want me to come out and see them. They want me to book a flight out to where they live, and they want me to spend a weekend with them, or they want to meet Jer Bear. They want to know what it's like to spend time with Mr. Jer Bear here, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. Um, but now I have to be very selective in who I tell and information that I divulge with certain individuals because I don't need my plans being destroyed, and I certainly don't want my friendship with certain people being tarnished because of a person who has a personal vendetta against me, and they can't resist not lying about me to certain people. So that information is kept off the record. Um, I wish it didn't have to be that way, but it is. And of course, there are friends out there. I have lots of very sweet, close friends who know me better than that. No matter what the trolls or the haters, like adjacent flapjack sulfur going back and telling people, there are people, friends I have who actually know better than to believe bullshit that they're being fed with a spoon. And I love those people because they don't buy into the crap that they're being told. And it's happened on more than one occasion. Even a lot of my friends who say, "Well, this person is saying X, Y, and Z about you," but you know what? I don't believe that because they haven't shown evidence. And when they say that to me, the clouds part, and it's like, ah, they are understanding that, hey, I'm not going to believe this until you actually present irrefutable evidence showing that this is what Jared has said or done, or this is the kind of person he is. And guess what? I have not seen that with him. And you're not going to. You're just not fucking going to, Jack. That's not going to happen. I'm not that kind of a person. But I have spent ages not only defending myself, but trying to get people to understand how logic works. And it's been It's been a work in progress. I mean, I've gotten through to quite a few people, which is why they're subscribed to my channel and they're like, you know what, man, you make a lot of sense. Why would they say this if it wasn't true? Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I would like to know why they would say something that's not true. Maybe perhaps you can get an answer and then you can relay it back to me. You know, I would love to know why they would say something that is not true or not supported with evidence. The evidence that we would see or that we would expect to see coming from this particular claim that's being made. And the evidence would have to match the nature of the claim. We don't see that. Of course, you're not going to see it because that's not who I am. But I have talked through many Sunday video updates about this. I have talked to many daily rant recordings about this, which, by the way, I haven't recorded a daily rant recording in quite some time. There are a couple things though I'm probably going to talk about, people I'm going to bring up in the daily rant, but so I was kind of sad last week. Um and I didn't talk to dad or anyone else about this, not a whole lot, but I was kind of sad last week because I had learned that there was a cancer warrior in West Michigan who passed away before Christmas, and she was only 13 years old. And her mom and I used to be friends on Facebook, and for some reason or another, we parted ways. I left Facebook, and then she has me blocked on Facebook now. I guess if it makes her feel like she's accomplished something by blocking me, more fucking power to her. Um, but I do feel bad for the family. Although her mom is not speaking to me anymore, my heart does go out to her. I offer my love and condolences because her 13-year-old daughter had passed away on December 14th. She had cancer, and I had no idea that her condition had worsened. I thought she was doing well. I thought she was thriving and living her best life. This young girl. Her name was Ashlyn, by the way, and I found out she passed away. And I was really heartbroken by that. I was sad. I was devastated when I found out, and I still am. It still hurts. I mean, she was a warrior sister. She fought tooth and nail and she put up a hell of a fight. But she did have her own YouTube channel, and I am subscribed to that YouTube channel, by the way. But I'm really sad to know that she's no longer with us, and irrespective of the fact that her mom may not like me for whatever reason, she doesn't like me. I don't know. Maybe she's told not to like me. People will actually put other innocent people up to that by saying, you cannot like Jared Fuller. If you like him, then leave us alone. That kind of shit. Those ultimatums are shitty. In which case, you shouldn't be calling yourselves a community if you're going to treat people this way. But I digress. But in any event, that person, Ashlyn's mom, Rhonda, you know, I don't know whatever happened. Like, I thought we were friends. I thought we were cool. But um, as it turns out, we just kind of lost touch. And I do apologize for your daughter passing away. She was a brave young lady, and she was a warrior sister and always will be. And I'm sorry that things happened the way they did. Um, I really and truly, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry that that happened. But I will never hear from her mom. I don't ever see that happening. I have tried to reach out to her mom, to Rhonda, just to say, "Hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about things that have happened in the past. Let's try to come to an understanding." And I wasn't swearing, I wasn't rude or snobby or anything like that. Until I'm pushed to that point where I need to be, like, say, for example, there's a cancer, a mother of a cancer warrior, plus she is a cancer warrior herself. Her name is Amy Sapien. We used to get along, or at least I thought we did. I used to write letters to her son, and she threw a bitch fit about that too because, "Oh, you can't include specific information. It's too gory for him. We don't want to scare him." He's battling cancer now. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't want to scare him, as if he's not afraid already, as if he's not aware of that now. There's nothing I could say that would ever possibly make any sort of difference. But she got her panties in a twist about that, and I did record a daily rant about her too. But it's to get people to understand the error of their ways. Just because someone says something about me does not make it true. And when I'm trying to talk to you about this, you want to write it off as, well, he's stalking me. He won't leave me alone. Shut the fuck up with that already. No one's stalking anyone. No one put a fucking gun to your head. Just shut up. Have the conversation like an adult. Yeah, and it's like, you are you really this lazy in your thinking that you actually won't be bothered enough to look into things further, and you're just taking everything as truth at face value because a bunch of people said it? I don't fucking care. I don't care. But Amy Sapien is a shining example of someone who is so gullible and lazy in her thinking that she will believe anything she is told. That's not my fucking problem. Maybe one day she'll come to her senses and she'll want to reach out and say, "Hey, Jared, I think you were right about something I didn't think. I didn't care. I'm just going through a lot right now." Then I would accept that. I would understand because, hello, being a survivor, of course I'm going to understand. But to just believe everything you're told without questioning things is really fucking stupid and it's dangerous. And I don't need people like that in my life. But I really wish that she would come to her senses, and the same with Rhonda. Come to your senses. Let's have the conversation. I'm not interested in name calling or, um, I'm not interested in negativity. I just want to talk about what happened, and I am truly sorry for anybody's children who passes away as a result of that. That is just, it's terrible. But I think a lot of people are starting to understand what I'm trying to tell them, which is progress. I'll take it. Because I got to tell you, and Kay in chat will even tell you that I've worked very hard to get people to understand. Hey, 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 get in here. I have worked very hard to get people to understand that I'm genuine and I mean what I say. Um, I'm genuine and I mean what I say when I talk to people about childhood cancer and the lifestyle. And, I'm always genuine and truthful. And I've maintained that since day one, since I started to make myself known to these people. I have maintained my sincerity and I want to be honest with people. And I've been honest with people since the beginning. Um, but and Kay in chat, because she's a very good friend of mine, she'll even tell you, and it's a she, by the way. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna mention her name because it's irrelevant, but she'll tell you. I mean, even despite the fact that we've had differences and we've had our outs, she'll tell you, you know what, he's been honest. And I'm not just, she's not gonna say that just because I'm putting her up to it. But if anybody could ask her and she'll tell you, yeah, Jared's worked very hard to get people to understand that they've been lied to about him this whole time. And getting people to understand that is just, it's a lot of work. But then you get people who are just so um caught up in their own beliefs that they're too lazy to put any serious thought into considering other things that come along with that. And what's going on over here? I hear growling. While I'm talking, you can see I'm talking and you get him growling. But anyway. But anyway. So we've got one person watching, which I think is me. I'm watching myself. Uh We got about 15 minutes left in the show. 15 minute, man, that hour went by quickly. Haven't had any more issues with, yeah, I gotta shave. I gotta cut my hair. Haven't had any more issues with, no more trolls are coming into my chat, which is fine by me. Well, Flapjack Sofa's not coming back. Uh, Love Seat, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah, they're not coming back because they've been banned permanently. Okay, letter K says hi. Yep, I am. I'm always nice. I was being halfway sarcastic. I try to be. Yeah. And I might even want to meet Kay too. I might even want to meet Kay. It's just going to depend on a lot of varying circumstances because I don't want to just show up out of the blue one day and say, "Hey, here I am. Now what are we going to do? We're going to hang out. You're going to tell me to fuck off into purple oblivion, or what are we going to do here? We're going to hang out. We're going to have lunch. What?" Um, Annie Wershing dies. She was 45. Let's see. As a matter of fact, right now, what I'm doing is, for those of you wondering, I am going to check my Facebook. Right now, as we speak. For the longest time, I kept it a secret that I was back on Facebook to deter the trolls. Like what they don't know, they don't know what to attack or where to go or anything like that. But now I'm at the point now to where if you fuck with me, I will eviscerate you verbally, and you won't ever mess with me again. Um, but I'm currently on my Facebook checking things out because I don't really know what else to talk about unless Dad decides to bring up another subject, and then we can go from there. Yes, the Sunday show, Matt Dillahunty. Hey, Matt, I don't know if you're watching this, but I'm checking out your Facebook. Hope you don't mind. Matt actually mentioned my name in one of the live streams. I thought was kind of cool. But I have listened to Matt Dillahunty for a very long time because I started to question my beliefs when I was about, I'd say, 26. It's about 11 years ago. And a lot of people don't know that I'm actually an atheist. And I try not to make it a point like, hey, let's sit down and talk about this kind of a point. I just say, hey, I'm an atheist, and what you do with that is entirely up to you, but this is how I conduct my life. I used to have religious beliefs, but those have been relinquished. A long time ago, I relinquished my religious beliefs, and I was actually considering starting a channel of just talking about that, about atheism. There is no channel made by me just yet. So before you get excited and start looking for an atheist channel made by Jared Fuller, there is none, not yet. But I think once I do make a channel, if I decide to make a channel containing content about atheism and such, I'll probably have a link in the chat, or I'll just mention it here, or both, depending on how charitable and generous I'm feeling. But yeah, I don't make it up. And Dad and I, we have these conversations all the time about atheism. And Amy, although she's asleep, she's a believer still, and we do live in a house divided in terms of religious beliefs. Like she's not trying to shove God down my throat, and I'm not trying to shove atheism down her throat. We have pretty much agreed to disagree on a lot of things, but and there's never any arguments about, she believes in God, I don't. I used to believe. I used to think that there was a God who loved and cared about me and was always watching over me and made sure that, I was okay. And I used to think along those lines that someone in the sky gives a fuck about me. And after having thought about it, questioned my beliefs a lot, I started to search around and I looked on YouTube and I was watching videos about atheism. And Matt Dillahunty was a person that I actually came across, and I listened to him speak about some things, and there were some very important topics that people would bring up. Because Matt used to be on a show called The Atheist Experience. He's not a part of that anymore. He is on a program called The Line, which the Sunday show will be starting anytime now, and I have to jump over to watch that live stream. But Matt Dillahunty, he really helped solidify my atheism, and he helped me to really consider a lot of things and think about a lot of things. And when I was a Christian, I was afraid of death and dying. Like, I really was terrified, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that not only because I was religious, but because I had cancer when I was a baby, so that really scared me. Like, I'm gonna die young. I'm gonna die when I'm a teenager. I'm gonna, what if this happens tomorrow? What if this happens tonight? And I was left with a bunch of what ifs. The what if was doing most of the heavy lifting. What if this? What if that? Well, what if? Then what? Um, but now that I'm an atheist, I don't have a fear of death. I don't have this existential dread of my God, I'm gonna die one day. Well, yeah, of course I am. There's nothing I can do to change it. There's nothing I can do to avoid it. I can't stop it. My parents are gonna I'm gonna lose my mom and dad one day. I'm not looking forward to that day. I'm not stoked about death, but it's something that it's gonna happen. There's nothing that anybody can do about it. And so Neil deGrasse Tyson said something that was brilliant because Larry King had questioned Neil deGrasse Tyson about death. Like, aren't you afraid of not existing? Are you afraid of not being around? And Neil deGrasse Tyson says, no. He says, I don't fear death at all. I love the unknown. He says, the only thing I'm afraid of is living a life where I have not achieved something for humanity. And that to me is a respectable answer. It's probably one of the most genius responses to that that I've ever heard. And I think that's how I conduct my life. Like, I want to live my life knowing that when I help somebody, and I get this from my dad, we help people all the time. I want to live my life knowing that I leave it better than I found it and I can help other people as much as I can. Even if the world has treated us like shit. We were also talking about this yesterday. We were headed to Saginaw. And, it's like no matter how many times people shit on us, we're always bouncing back up. We're like those clowns. You hit them and they bounce back up, they bounce up right again. That's how we are. We're always bouncing back. We can be knocked over 1,000 times and still bounce back up. And if somebody needs the help, we're going to help them. That's kind of how we are. And there's going to be people who don't like me, and I don't have to care, and I don't. But those people who I'm focused on, I have lots of friends. I think I have more friends now than I ever have in my whole life. And they're awesome people. I love them dearly. They love having me in their circle. I love having them in my circle. It's awesome. There's people who desperately want to meet me for whatever the reason. I think it's because they read my Facebook post or they watch my Sunday video updates or they listen to my daily rants. And combined within the 3 platforms, they get bits and pieces of me, and they can pretty much construct an idea of how I am, or they can perceive how I am as an individual. And I think that's why they wanna meet me because I put myself out there. I don't hold back. Eh No, I don't ask for anything. Um, the only thing I would ask for is that people actually think about what they're being told before they just go ahead and believe something. Is there some kind of evidence or way to prove that what you're saying is true and accurate? Do we have some kind of evidence? Whatever the case may be, I don't care what the claim is. Can you prove this to be the case? And if you can't, then why the fuck should anybody believe you? And I think I've gotten that point across. I have phone conversations with I don't just everybody. I'm on the phone with people. I have a buddy whose grandson is on the autism spectrum, and we've been talking on the phone on occasion. I'm not going to say where he lives. I'm not going to say what he does. I'm not going to give any information about this friend of mine. Only that his grandson is on the autism spectrum, and we are in communication. They want to meet me too, by the way. So, yeah, 2 birds with 1 stone, when I get to where I'm going, which shall never be disclosed here. Isn't that right, Dad? Because you almost slipped up. Yeah, um, but there's people who wanna meet me, and that for me is reason enough to keep this thing going, because there's people who love me and care about me, and I probably love and care more about them than they could ever love and care about me. And it's great to have people who understand, and it's great to have people who will actually think about what they're being told before they just go and believe something at face value. See, the thing about my enemies or whatever you wanna call them is they think they've won. They think they've scored some kind of victory to put Jared out of the mix. Well, you failed laughably, and I'm still here. I come back most every Sunday. I'm back on Facebook again. I'm back doing the shit that I used to do other than raising awareness to childhood cancer, which I really don't do that anymore, but I still have friends and I'm making new friends and people are getting to know me and I'm reaching out to people and I'm creating friendships and connections. You can't stop me. Jer Bear's unfucking stoppable. You can't stop me. Once I get going, once I'm determined to do something, I do it. There's no stopping me. So that's how I'm going to end this week's live stream, this week's Sunday video update. If this is your first time here, make sure you are subscribed. And once you're subscribed, if you're subscribed longer than 5 minutes, you'll be able to comment in my chat log and you will be respectful and you will govern yourselves, or I'll make an example out of you, just as I did fucking Lazy Boy or whatever the fuck his name is. You will be gone. You'll be given the fuck off boot into purple oblivion and you won't be allowed here ever again. But if you want to come in and say hi or strike up conversation, please bring it. Let's talk. So Dad, any final thoughts for you?
No, just stay safe and take care of your neighbors and love one another. All I got to say. That.
Amy's asleep, so she's just gonna give me snores.
You just say peace out, take care of yourself.
Peace out and take care of yourself and have a good week.
Yep.
And I'm probably gonna say pretty much the same thing, stealing a page from Amy's book. So it's been a long few weeks. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be on this week because of sinus issues. What's that? March? This is January. You're getting way ahead of yourself. February is right around the corner. I hope February is going to be a great month for everyone. But yeah, this is the final Sunday video for the month of January. And I will end this live stream by saying that I am unstoppable. Try as you will and try as you might. You're not going to stop me. Ever. Yeah, you have not won. You have failed. And that's the attitude that I want for you watching from wherever you're watching from. I want you to carry that attitude with you this week. The people who try to bring you down or to knock you off your feet, you tell them, you tried to stop me and you fucking failed. You didn't do it, you couldn't do it, and you never will do it. That's the attitude I want you to carry with you this week. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. We are officially at the 4 o'clock hour. I love you all very much. I will be back next week, which will be the first Sunday in February. I don't know the day when that is. I haven't looked at the calendar. It's too far away and it's off in the dark. I cannot see. But it's officially 4 o'clock. I got to run. I have another live stream to go watch, and I'm going to go tell Matt Dillahunty that I mentioned his name in my live stream. So much love. Have a great week, and I will see you next week, guys. Take care. Have a good one.